My child, there is a reason you found this message today. There is a reason your eyes stopped here, and there is a reason your heart feels drawn to keep listening. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. What you are about to hear is connected to the very title of this message, because your soulmate's friends have been talking about you, and what they noticed has become impossible to ignore. A quiet conversation began when your name unexpectedly entered a discussion. No one planned for it. No one expected it. Yet somehow, your presence became the center of attention. At first, it was only a simple observation. Then another person added something. Then another. Before long, everyone in that circle was noticing the same thing, and that is when the atmosphere changed completely. What surprised them was not your appearance, your status, or anything temporary. What surprised them was the effect you seemed to have without even being there. Your soulmate may not realize how often your energy enters conversations, but their friends certainly do. They have noticed that whenever your name appears, the tone of the discussion shifts. There is curiosity. There is interest. There is a feeling that there is more to your story than anyone fully understands. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. One friend spoke first. They said there is something different about you. Not different in a loud way. Different in a way that cannot easily be explained. They noticed that even when very little information is shared about you, people still want to know more. They feel there is depth around you. They feel there are chapters of your story that have not yet been revealed. Then another friend added something even more surprising. They said that whenever your soulmate talks about the future, whether directly or indirectly, there seems to be a hidden connection leading back to you. Not because your name is constantly mentioned, but because the qualities being described sound remarkably familiar. This observation created silence in the room because suddenly everyone began connecting pieces they had never connected before. The conversation grew deeper. Someone pointed out that your soulmate becomes noticeably more thoughtful after hearing updates about you. It may be a small change. It may last only a few moments. Yet it happens often enough that people have started paying attention. These friends are not seeing random coincidences anymore. They are noticing patterns. And patterns always reveal something important. As the discussion continued, one person remembered a specific moment. They recalled how your soulmate reacted after hearing something positive connected to you. The reaction was subtle, but unforgettable. It was the kind of reaction that happens when someone matters more than they openly admit. That memory sparked an even larger discussion. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. One by one, stories emerged. Small moments. Tiny observations. Details that seemed insignificant at the time. Yet when placed together, they formed a picture no one could ignore. The picture showed someone who occupies more space in your soulmate's heart and mind than most people realize. This realization surprised the entire group. What shocked them even more was the consistency of their observations. Different people noticed different things, yet they all arrived at the same conclusion. That rarely happens. When multiple people independently notice the same pattern, it becomes difficult to dismiss. One friend said they believe you inspire growth. Another said they believe you encourage reflection. Another said they believe you bring out a side of your soulmate that few people ever get to see. Although each person used different words, the message remained the same. You matter. More than you know. More than you realize. More than anyone expected. And that is only the beginning. Because as the conversation continued, a surprising question entered the room. What if the connection is even stronger than it appears? The moment that question was spoken, everyone became quiet. Not because they had an answer, but because they suddenly realized they might have underestimated what was happening. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Some friendships are built on shared experiences. Some connections are built on convenience. But the observations being discussed did not fit either category. They seemed to point toward something deeper. Something that continues growing even when nobody is actively trying to make it grow. One friend described it as a thread. Invisible. Quiet. Yet impossible to break. Another described it as a story still being written. A story with chapters that have not yet been revealed. And perhaps that is why this conversation became unforgettable. Because for the first time, your soulmate's friends stopped discussing ordinary details and started discussing possibilities. Possibilities about where this connection may lead. Possibilities about what has not yet been spoken. Possibilities about what may soon come into the light. As these possibilities filled the room, one final observation changed everything. A friend said they have never seen your soulmate completely indifferent when it comes to you. Think about that. Never completely indifferent. No matter the situation. No matter the timing. No matter the circumstances. There is always a reaction. Always a response. Always a sign that something remains significant. The room became silent once again. And in that silence, everyone understood something important. Your story is not ordinary. Your connection is not ordinary. The attention surrounding your name is not ordinary. There is something unfolding that has not yet reached its final chapter. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because what began as a casual conversation among friends transformed into something much bigger. It became a collection of observations. A collection of clues. A collection of moments that point toward a future that may hold more surprises than anyone currently expects. And this is where part 1 comes to a close. The most surprising observation has not yet been revealed. The moment that made everyone stare at each other in complete disbelief is still ahead. And when that revelation finally surfaced, the entire conversation changed direction in a way nobody saw coming. Stay close. The next part reveals the observation that stunned the room and made your soulmate's friends realize they may have been witnessing something extraordinary all along. A remarkable detail emerged next, and this was the moment the entire conversation changed. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. What you are about to hear was the observation that made your soulmate's friend stop talking for a moment and simply think. It was not a dramatic event. It was not a loud announcement. It was something much more powerful because it happened naturally, again and again, until nobody could ignore it anymore. One friend finally spoke and said, "Have you ever noticed how their mood shifts whenever this person comes up?" The room immediately became quiet. Everyone knew exactly what was being discussed. No explanation was needed. The moment your name enters the conversation, there is a change. Sometimes it is a smile that appears unexpectedly. Sometimes it is a thoughtful pause. Sometimes it is a look that seems to reveal more than words ever could. These moments are small on their own, but together they create a story that is impossible to overlook. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As the discussion continued, another friend remembered something surprising. They recalled a moment when everyone was talking about completely unrelated topics. The conversation moved from one subject to another, yet somehow your name appeared naturally. Nobody forced it. Nobody planned it. Yet there it was again. This friend said that was when they realized something important. People do not repeatedly mention someone unless that person carries significance. And according to what they have witnessed, your significance is far greater than most people understand. Then another observation appeared. One friend noticed that your soulmate listens very carefully whenever new information about you becomes available. Even if they remain calm on the outside, there is attention. There is focus. There is curiosity. It is as though every detail matters. The friend said this level of interest is rare because people naturally invest attention into what truly matters to them. At that moment, several others nodded in agreement. Not because they were guessing. Because they had noticed the same thing. That is what made this revelation so powerful. Different people. Different experiences. Different perspectives. Yet the same conclusion. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Then came the observation nobody expected. One friend admitted they once asked a casual question about you. They expected a short answer. Instead, they received a response filled with details. Details that only someone paying close attention would remember. The friend was stunned. They realized that your soulmate remembered things that most people would have forgotten. Tiny moments. Small conversations. Meaningful impressions. The kind of things that remain in memory because they carry emotional value. The room became silent. Because everyone understood what that meant. People remember what matters. And according to what these friends have seen, you matter more than anyone realized. But the biggest revelation was still ahead. One person finally shared the observation that changed everything. They said there is something unusual about the way your soulmate talks about the future. Whenever future plans, future dreams, or future possibilities are discussed, there always seems to be an invisible connection leading back to you. Not directly. Not obviously. Yet consistently. This realization sent a wave of surprise through the group. Because suddenly all the previous clues began fitting together. The attention. The curiosity. The remembered details. The reactions. The repeated mentions. Everything pointed toward the same conclusion. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The conversation became deeper than ever before. Friends who initially thought they were discussing simple observations now felt they were uncovering something much more meaningful. They started asking questions they had never asked before. Why does your name create such interest? Why do these patterns continue appearing? Why do the same observations keep repeating? Nobody had all the answers. Yet everyone agreed on one thing. There is something special happening here. Something that continues growing quietly behind the scenes. Something that has not yet fully revealed itself. As the evening continued, another friend shared a memory that nobody could forget. They remembered seeing your soulmate become unexpectedly reflective after hearing news connected to you. It was not a dramatic reaction. It was the reaction of someone thinking deeply. Someone considering possibilities. Someone recognizing importance. That memory stayed with everyone. Because it revealed a side of the story that few people ever get to see. The side that exists when nobody is watching. The side that reveals what truly matters. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Then came one final observation before the conversation ended. A friend said, I think they see qualities in this person that are difficult to find. The room fell silent once again. Not because the statement was shocking. Because it felt true. Sometimes the simplest observations are the most powerful. The friends began listing the qualities they believed your soulmate notices. Kindness. Strength. Authenticity. Understanding. A presence that feels comforting and memorable. The more they discussed these qualities, the more convinced they became that you have left a lasting impression. And lasting impressions do not happen by accident. They happen when someone touches the heart in a meaningful way. That realization changed the entire atmosphere. What started as casual conversation had become something much bigger. A collection of clues. A collection of moments. A collection of observations that all pointed toward one incredible truth. Your presence has been noticed. Your impact has been noticed. And the story is far from over. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because in the next part, the friends begin discussing something even more surprising. The moment they realized this connection might be influencing decisions, thoughts, and future possibilities in ways nobody expected. And when that realization finally surfaced, the conversation took a direction that left everyone completely speechless. A fascinating realization unfolded next, and this was the moment your soulmate's friends began connecting dots they had never connected before. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. What happened during this part of the conversation surprised everyone because it was no longer about isolated observations. It was about a pattern that seemed too consistent to ignore. One friend leaned forward and shared something they had been thinking about for a long time. They said they noticed that whenever your soulmate faces an important decision, there is often a moment of reflection that seems connected to you. Nobody could explain why. Yet the observation immediately caught everyone's attention. Another friend quickly agreed. They remembered multiple situations where your soulmate appeared thoughtful after hearing something related to you. It was never forced. It was never obvious. Yet it happened often enough that people started paying attention. The more they talked about it, the clearer the pattern became. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Then the discussion took an unexpected turn. Someone asked a question that nobody had considered before. What if this connection has been growing much longer than we realize? The room became silent. Because suddenly everyone started remembering things. Moments. Conversations. Reactions. Details they had overlooked before. One friend recalled a time when your soulmate unexpectedly defended your character during a discussion. It was not a dramatic moment. It was simple and genuine. Yet it revealed something important. People naturally protect things they value. That memory instantly became one of the most talked about observations of the entire evening. Another friend remembered something even more surprising. They noticed that your soulmate often pays attention to qualities that remind them of you. Whether discussing values, goals, or personality traits, there always seemed to be similarities. It was almost as if your presence had become a quiet reference point without anyone realizing it. The more they talked, the more amazed they became. Because every observation seemed to lead back to the same place. You. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. One friend then revealed a story that completely changed the atmosphere. They remembered asking your soulmate what kind of people they admire most. The answer was thoughtful and detailed. But what caught their attention was that many of the qualities described matched things they had already noticed about you. Not one quality. Not two. Several. That realization sent a wave of surprise through the room. Because now the clues were becoming impossible to ignore. The admiration. The attention. The curiosity. The memories. The repeated discussions. Everything seemed connected. At that moment, someone quietly said, "Maybe this is why your name keeps appearing." Nobody argued. Nobody disagreed. In fact, several people nodded immediately. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As the conversation deepened, another observation emerged. One friend explained that your soulmate appears genuinely interested in your growth, your progress, and your happiness. Not in a casual way. In a way that feels meaningful. They said this kind of interest cannot be manufactured. It comes naturally when someone occupies a special place in your thoughts. That statement stayed in everyone's mind. Because it explained so many other observations. Why details were remembered. Why reactions appeared. Why conversations returned to your name. Why curiosity remained strong. Suddenly everything started making sense. Then came what many considered the biggest revelation of the night. A friend said they believe your soulmate sees potential in this connection that has not yet fully unfolded. The room became completely still. Not because anyone knew exactly what the future holds, but because the statement felt surprisingly accurate. There was a feeling that this story still has chapters waiting to be written. That important moments may still be ahead. That something meaningful continues developing behind the scenes. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The friends began discussing future possibilities. Not predictions. Not assumptions. Simply possibilities. And what amazed them most was how often those possibilities included you. Every path they discussed seemed to circle back to the same person. Every conversation seemed to return to the same name. Every observation seemed to point toward the same conclusion. Your presence has become unforgettable. One friend finally summarized everything in a single sentence. They said, "There must be a reason all these observations keep leading back to the same person." The room fell silent again. Because nobody could deny it. The evidence was not one moment. It was dozens of moments. Small pieces creating one larger picture. A picture that continues becoming clearer with time. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As the gathering came closer to ending, one final thought emerged. A friend said that some people enter your life briefly and leave little impact. Others leave an impression that continues growing long after the moment has passed. According to everything they had witnessed, you belong to the second category. Your influence has been noticed. Your value has been noticed. Your presence has been noticed. And the story is still unfolding. But what happened next shocked everyone even more. Because in the next conversation, your soulmate's friends began discussing the one observation they had avoided talking about all evening, the observation that felt too important, too meaningful, and too powerful to mention until the very end. And when that final observation was finally spoken aloud, it changed the entire discussion forever. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The most unforgettable revelation is still ahead.